Okay, the recording is set. And do you guys have your pen, papers, and whatever you need to start the live? Okay, so today we're going to talk about Module 4, Lesson 1. Well, one part of Lesson 1 because let me show you. We have different videos right here. So I think today we're going to watch this one and maybe we're going to go for this one. Let's see what happens.
Welcome, everyone.
Okay, here we go.
To Module 4, Lesson 1, Detachment and Flow State Masterclass. This is a very powerful technique that I've used in the past to make things happen instantly. And essentially, you can use this for manifesting things to happen that are right in front of you. Like if you have a choice to make, or for example, you have 10 empty boxes in front of you, and one of those boxes has $100,000 in cash in it, or euros, or whatever your native currency is. And you need to choose, you only have one chance to pick the right box. If you use this flow state technique, intuitively, it just leads you don't see the other 9 boxes. You only see the one box that has the money in it. And if you can master this, it's just insane what can happen when you actually use it correctly in your day-to-day life. Like when you have things in front of you, like you lose your keys, or you need an answer to something. Intuitively, you're just connected to I am, or consciousness, and you know exactly what to do. But let me break this down for you. So pay attention, take notes, and prepare yourself for the next level of manifestation. Module 4 is about detachment. Letting go is true detachment. There's no worry, fear, or obsession. You trust that it's yours because you know that it is. This is part of the flow state. As you start to relax, you release the simulation, the 3-dimensional world from your mind. You start detaching completely from it. You know that it's not real. You know you're living in a simulation. You're taking your deep breaths. You're feeling yourself into flow. This can also be an exercise used for detachment when you find that you just can't break free from something that's you're reacting to, something negative, or something bad comes in the mail, or you get bad news from something, or something's happening. This flow state can be also a really powerful exercise to detach yourself from those things. Detachment from negative states and assumption of the wish fulfilled must be practiced in the midst of all the blessings and cursings of life. Neville Goddard. We start with the flow state master class. What is the flow state? It's a meditative realm where you are detached and your subconscious is extremely absorptive to any information you give it. All right, so how to get into flow state? 1, choose the right time and set a timer. Pick a time when you're full of energy and focus. Unlike SATs, the goal here is alertness. All right. So number 2, find a quiet place, undisturbed place, turn off any distractions and ensure you won't be interrupted. But once you really master this is just for beginners. When you're just starting out, you need to find a quiet place and all this stuff. So that way you can practice to do it. But once you master it, I used to do it in public. I used to do this. I did it in Las Vegas. I did this in front of 100 people. They didn't even know what I was doing. Okay. So once you get to a certain level from past the beginning, you don't need to find a quiet place anymore. Once you master this technique and you could slip into flow state at any time and then pick the right answer, know what you're doing, and manifest things like instantaneously into your life, you get the right answers to certain things you're looking for. So as you master this, you're going to get beyond this. But at first, follow these instructions, okay? All right, so 3, sit upright. At first, I do this standing up later on. Like as you master it, you'll be able to stand up and do this. But when you're first starting, sit upright in a lotus or half lotus position. Avoid laying down. Never lay down during this. So take 20 breaths, deep breaths, count each breath. Let thoughts flow through in and out. If your mind wanders too much, bring your attention back to 1. Number 5, rebirth feeling. This is the most important part. So once you take deep breaths, you take your 20 deep breaths in and out and in and out, and you detach from everything. You detach from the simulation. You attach from the 3-dimensional world. You connect with your true essence. Okay. In this state, that's when you do this. After your breaths, you visualize the feeling of yourself as being newly born. You're brand new to the world. You were just landed here on your spaceship to planet Earth. You've never been here before. You don't have a past. You don't have a future. Your future is unknown. Your past is unknown. You don't even have a past. Your future is unknown and it's limitless. Your future is limitless. You can create whatever you want. And this is the state that you need to get into. You need to master. is getting, after you take your breaths, you're completely detached. You're so relaxed and calm and at peace. Okay. But you're alert during this. And you create this feeling that you're brand new to the world right now. Like right in this very second, you're brand new. You don't have a past. You just landed here on your spaceship. Okay. You're brand new to the world. You don't have a past. There's no certain set of beliefs that you have. Nothing that you consent to being true. Anything is possible that can happen to you. And then you go to the next part. So a clean slate with no past, open to possibilities. Keep this feeling as your main focus. So submerge yourself in the feeling that you just landed here on your spaceship. You don't have a past. You don't have any beliefs. You are a limitless being. You were just born. Neville Goddard, each person is born with an infinite power. And you're going back to that. You're connecting with that power. So number 6, close the meditation. When your timer goes off, or if you feel ready, gently open your eyes. Carry the feeling of calm presence into your day. So essentially, flow state is designed, like at first you want to try to do this just so you can start mastering the feeling of this. But as you start getting better and better at this, you can have something in front of you. If you have a problem that you need to solve, you can go into this meditation, the rebirth feeling. You go into this rebirth feeling and you feel yourself like, once you get into this feeling state where you're brand new, then you visualize yourself having the desired outcome. Like, for example, like the boxes I told you about. This is what you visualize. When you go into flow state, you have 10 boxes in front of you, and one of them has the money that you want, and you only have one choice to make. You go into this flow state, and then you visualize seeing yourself picking up the right box and having the money underneath that box. And as you do that, you will be led intuitively to that box. You won't even see the other boxes, okay? And you can use this for anything that you want in your life. I used to use this a long time ago for like sports betting. I wouldn't even follow the teams or know the injuries or anything. I would get like a 4-pick, and I would go into the flow state, and I would just intuitively know. From my visualization, I visualized a family member of mine. We were watching the game at the very end, and he congratulated me on my success and my victory right when I was in flow state. And then I came out and I chose all 4 winners. Okay. And I won $50,000 with that one ticket. And it took me 10 seconds to do, or probably about a minute and a half of getting into this feeling state. And that's the power of flow state. But you can use it for anything. Like if you lose your keys or something, you go quickly into this and all of a sudden you'll remember where they are too. There's so many different variables with this, how it can unlock all of the information within this simulation for you, or within consciousness for you. All right. So, but at first you can just close the meditation out, and then as you're practicing, you start developing to where you can do it that way. So close the meditation. When your timer goes off, you feel ready, gently open your eyes, carry the feeling of calm and presence throughout the day. Manifesting using flow state. Once you have developed the ability to shift yourself in and out of the flow state, you're ready to begin working on imaginable acts. Okay, so we'll go into detail about this in module 6, but for now, it's essential to mastering, entering, and exiting the flow state, and to understand how this state can help with detachment and also manifestation. All right, so detachment with flow state. The flow state is powerful in achieving detachment because it brings you fully into the present moment, freeing you from obsessing over outcomes or future scenarios. It puts you in the present moment. You're focused on the now. Okay, so in flow, childlike state, you're deeply absorbed in the here and now, which naturally reduces any clinging or need for specific results. And now we will be going into the next steps.
All right, that was a really good one. Welcome, Badwell. Nice seeing you, my friend. Welcome, Rose. I almost forgot that Badwell was part of this group. I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding. So, does anyone have a question or wants to share something regarding what we just watched?
Yeah, I tell you, it's fascinating watching this because I tend to do this anyway. When I'm watching quizzes, for example, me and my partner sit and we watch quizzes. Like sometimes I could get the answers to questions. Sometimes I logically know them because if they ask a question, I know it. Sometimes I'll look at questions and there'll be like a question and there'll be like a 1, 2, 3 or ABC of answers. and I'll say, oh, it's B or it's C. But I won't know the answer. I won't be aware of the answer. But I'll say it's C. And 9 times out of 10, I can get it. Other times I'll see the answers and I won't have a clue. I say, well, I don't know. Nothing's coming to me. But if I sit quietly, especially after I've done a meditation session, then I can sit quietly, be relaxed. And 9 times out of 10, that thing will jump out to me after I've done a couple of meditation sessions, for example. So for me, that's how it works.
Nice. And yeah, nice to have you here, by the way. And yeah, that's actually really good. So you're doing that on purpose, or it's just like, okay, I'm doing this meditation and then it happens that I'm watching this show or whatever, and then they come out?
I do the meditation anyway. I'm in some meditation practices in other groups, and I've got my own paid meditations, which I use. I don't sit there purposely with the idea of doing it, but if I'm watching a quiz, I enjoy watching quizzes because I like to get knowledge and learn different things. And if I'm sat there, it just comes to me. If I'm sat there relaxed, the answer just jumps out at me. It's not something I'm saying, right, I'll sit here to see if I can get 10 out of 10 kind of thing. But if I'm just sat there watching and I'm in this relaxed state or flow state, it actually happens. So I'm not doing it purposely or setting up purposely, but I think I got that state of mind where I'm able to do it.
Okay, so it comes, you're relaxed, you're in flow state, and then you hear a question, and then it comes to you. It's not like, okay, I'm gonna listen to, or I'm gonna watch this quiz, and then I'm gonna do a meditation. So it just happens, right?
Yeah. So if I'm sat, I might do the meditation in the morning and have a good feeling in the morning. And then if I watch the quiz on the television in the evening, then I just relaxed. Maybe before going to sleep, I just feel I'm in that state. I do the meditation early, and I got that state all through the day, near enough.
Yeah. Okay, that's nice. That's really good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Welcome.
Well, who else wants to share something before we move to the next short video? Or somebody has a question regarding detachment, flow state? Okay, so let's move on to the next thing.
Also, on the lives, if you have anything that you want to ask during the week, you can just put that in the community. Then we will address that during the live events. Address that during a live. Okay, so all right, let's see here. All right, so let's cover Flow State 101. Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Mondays are my favorite days. Usually, when I talk to people, they always say that they don't like Mondays. I think Monday's like the best day. It's like the beginning of the week. And it's just like that positive outlook. Most people like Fridays the best and Saturdays. I always like Mondays the best. Monday's my favorite day. What's your favorite day? Leave a comment. All right, so Flow State 101, a direct line to God. Allow the subconscious mind to unlock for you. All right, so you do not have to do this remote. That's the thing about Flow State. This technique itself, once you develop that part of your mind, where you're able to disconnect from the three-dimensional world and get into that flow state, that alpha state, you only have to do it one time to know, to get that intuitive thoughts or actions to pick. And I'm going to get into all this, exactly how this works, because a lot of people have confusion, and I've gotten so many questions about this and the confusion that is behind flow state and what it's actually meant for. It's essentially, it's a visualization strategy, kind of similar to what Neville Goddard covers, but this is designed for immediate response as soon as you come out of your meditation, out of flow state. And I'm gonna break that down for you guys here. All right, so, and if you have any other questions relating to this, just ask me and I will answer. You do not have to do this for multiple hours or multiple days. It works when completed one time. But you must do it correctly. You must do it correctly. You must have total control of your attention in flow state. So it kind of goes back to the leaf exercise and developing that part of your mind. So if you're not able to use this, or you're having any, if you're having any issues using flow state, go back, stop what you're doing, and go back and start mastering the leaf exercise, the reverse course, counting $100 bills, even doing the ladder exercise. Go back, just take a step back. If you're not able to control your attention in a visual scene or in meditation, then just go back and start doing the inner work. And that's why we're here. That's why we've created this community. That way you have easy access to this, ask questions, and we can get to the bottom of that. That way you can understand exactly what you need to do to get to the next level. So you must have total control of your attention in flow state. If you cannot control your mind in meditation, you will not be able to control it in flow state. So you can just close your eyes and sit peacefully somewhere and kind of move your attention and direct it on something, whatever it may be. You can just direct your attention to one thing and see if you can hold your attention on that one thing for long periods of time without other thoughts coming, because the mind can be very, very tricky. It can confuse you, it can trick you, it can get you to think about something else, that falls deep within what you're thinking about, that may trigger something from the past or in the future, or something someone said to you over here or over there. So you just have to be aware of that and catch yourself as your mind starts to drift. And that's really important for these exercises to work. So a good way to determine if you're ready to use this is to try the leaf exercise to see how many leaves you can get to without your mind drifting. Totally agreed. So if you pass the leaf test, I think if you get to 10 or 20 leaves, you should be able to easily do the flow state. You should be able to do flow state very, very simply. I had to meditate quite a few times in order for me to use this, but I did have a natural ability. I had a natural ability, 100,000. I had a natural ability for this actual exercise here, even before I really had a good attention span. I was able to do this. I mean, I didn't land it every time, but I was able to do some sports betting and win a lot of money. And even in Las Vegas, I was able to win a lot of money using this flow state, even before I had control of the direction of my attention. But I find it to be much more simple and precise when you can control your attention. And it's just, if you're not in a state of overthinking, overanalyzing, and then it'll be much easier for you to get these intuitive answers and to make the right picks. All right, so the first step is to sit in a lotus position or half lotus position, or just sit somewhere where you're not going to be disturbed. It doesn't necessarily have to be a lotus, any sort of lotus position. You can sit in a chair and do it. You can even stand up and do it. So if you can get to that level. So, or just sit with your back completely erect, straight, not slouching. Be somewhere where you are not to be disturbed for about 20 minutes. Now, I want you to take 20 deep breaths. So this is going to get you in the state of relaxation, because you just kind of want to just take those deep breaths and just release yourself, find peace, okay? Because that's what stops the analytical mind. It stops the overthinking. It stops the pollution in the mind, and it gets you just to calm down. Everything is okay. Everything's working out for you perfectly. You're in a state of peace. Life is just tremendous, just as it is. And you feel yourself into this state while you're taking these breaths. So, and now I want you to contemplate, once you get into this relaxed state, this state of peace, where everything's just coming in, it's flowing through you. It's just, you're just in this flow where you feel great. You've detached. So now I want you to contemplate for a few minutes on what it would feel like if you were just born right this very second. So once you get into this state of peace, you get into this state of just being brand new to the world. You can even say this to yourself, in the meditation, not out loud, but just inwardly. I was just born to the world. I'm brand new. I just landed. My spaceship just landed on planet Earth. and everything is erased from my past. I don't have a past. I'm brand new. I'm able to create any new beliefs and consent to my world as being whatever I want it to be in this moment, because there is no past. I'm brand new. My mind is brand new. My memory is brand new. Everything is brand new. All right. So you have no past. You don't know your future, but you can create whatever you want in this state. You don't have any of these limiting beliefs anymore. All that's erased in this state. And the more you do this, the better you get at it. Like the more you can get into this peaceful state when you're taking your breaths and just feeling that everything's working out perfectly. I'm brand new to the world, and just be in this state of gratitude. Like while you're doing this, it slows the analytical mind down to where you can accept new ideas. All right. So, nor are you interested in knowing it. Okay. So you are brand new, like a newborn baby, not an actual baby. Okay. I got this question so many times. Am I really like an infant baby? Do I imagine myself being like a 3-day-old baby? And I said, no, it's not about actually literally being a baby. You're just brand new to the world. You just landed here. You're not an actual baby. You're still you. You're still in a human, full grown human body, but you're brand new. That's the mindset that you need to create within yourself. You're not an actual newborn baby. All right. So this is a technique out of Neville Goddard's Your Faith is Your Fortune. This is something I did get out of Your Faith is Your Fortune, but I used some other things with it a long time ago to incorporate this flow state. But he talked about this, getting into this brand new feeling state, like you were just brand new to the world. All right. So this technique is designed to release your ego. Because any idea that we are that we are separate from anyone or anything has to be rejected at this point. Everything. Okay, so I actually have a quote here. I was reading that before live. The idea of separateness must be denied. And when your ego is attached to something, or your manifestation or your world, your ego is attached to it, that means that you're pretty much saying that everything is separate, that you're not one energy with God. You're not God, because God is everything. All right. And you lose your power of God when you connect the ego and be like, this is mine. I'm creating this. Sometimes when the ego is attached to it in that state, you can lose a lot of that power. So anything that remotely resembles any idea of separateness or that's of separateness, then that has to be denied, completely thrown out of the window. And before I carry on, there's another thing I wanted to mention here that I really have been working on myself, and I wanted to share this. So, and it's right here. Never accept as true of another person who would not want to be true of yourself. And I've been working on that lately. I've been slipping kind of back into that, thinking of other people kind of not the way that I should, or I want to think of anyone else exactly how I would want to be, whatever I would want to be. I wouldn't want that to happen. I don't want to think of someone else being, in a bad state or a low state, because then that can be accepted of myself through the law of thought transmission. That's how that works. So this technique is designed to. I wanted to share that with everyone. Something I'm working on, and I think that it's a constant working on. So this technique is designed to release your ego. It is vitally important that you release your ego in order to connect with God, your true self, because God is everything, all consciousness. Okay, I am. All right. So when your ego is attached to it, you've lost the power of I am. All right. So that's when you have the power of God, is when you were attached and you know that nothing is separate. You have no ego involved. That's when you have the power of God, and any answer you need will be there because you are not separate anymore. And that's the whole key and trick to flow state, because when you connect to all things, you have all answers. All answers are there available for you. All right, you're plugged in now. You're plugged into the universe. You're plugged into everything, and any answer is there for you. Okay. That's when you have the power of God, and any answer you will need will be there. This is flow state. Now for the final step, after you have become completely absorbed in the feeling of being brand new and have released the ego. I want you to imagine in first person, thinking from it, not of it. So then we kind of go back. Once you've done the first step, then you kind of go back to Neville Goddard's original teachings. All right. You go back to his original teachings and you're thinking from an event. Now you're brand new to the world. You're completely relaxed. Your ego is not attached to anything. You don't have any selfish desires. You know that you are all, everything is all one energy. There's no separateness with anyone. You are everything and all consciousness. I am. Okay. When you get into this state, then you want to imagine in first person, seeing yourself now in the present moment, doing what you want to be doing, or I'll get into that right here. So thinking from it, not of it, of the thing you desire as being completely completed. Now place yourself in the scene in the future as if it were happening now. All right. So it could be winning the lottery, could be winning $3 million, getting a new relationship, or simply finding your car keys that you lost. The answer comes to you in this state. You are connected with God in your highest self that is God. I'm working on a flow state meditation track as well. Okay, so we're going to cover this more, and I'll take some questions on this. But essentially, like, I know I've explained this before, but I'll do it again. Flow state is primarily for coming out of, when you come out of flow state, there's going to be something right in front of you that you need an answer immediately for. Like if there were 10 boxes in front of you, empty boxes, one of them has, $10,000 in it. And you only have one chance to make a selection on that one box that has the 10,000. 9 of the boxes are empty. One box has $10,000. You go into flow state, and when you come out, you'll be able to pick the right box. You'll be led to it because you are now have access to all information. All right, you're connected. There's no separateness with anything. Okay, no separation whatsoever. All right, so concurrent viewers, 40. Good. Absolutely. Fantastic. All right, so we have any questions on this?
All right. So it was really good. This was really, really good. Somebody wants to share something?
I think the flow state is, as you say, really, really good. I used to visualize with the flow state. I did not use it for like betting or lottery. So did any one of you use it to win something?
Yeah, my partner did. Just before I met her, or in the 80s, she did something over here called an ITV7, which is an accumulator bet. So you get 7 horses, and she just had a last bit of money. I think it was a $5, about probably equivalent to $5, somewhere around there, €5, something like that. And she said, well, I got nothing to lose. I get paid tomorrow. She said, I just put the £5 on and just have a bit of fun. She goes into her bookies. She picks 7, done the ITV7, 7 winners, picked the 7 winners, and had 7 winners just like that, 2,500. And she said, I don't know how I've done it. So I didn't focus on anything or plan anything. So I just went in till I had £5. And I just thought, right, I get paid tomorrow. I'm not going to lose anything. I just do it for a bit of fun. And it was done for fun. And she turned £5 into 2,500.
I think, Terence, that this is why she won, because she said, I just do it for fun. Remember, all of you, to the story from David, where there was a trader and he had 2 accounts. One was to have fun with it, and the other was a real one. And he won so much with the one which was not the real one because he didn't take it so serious. And the one he took serious, he lost.
I did this in college, and we had a computerized accounts. So my partner, we went out for a couple of drinks with a couple of other students and come back, a bit the worse for wear. They done it and passed easily. She didn't think about it. She said, I'll just do it. She said, if I pass it, I pass it. If I don't, I don't. I done it. And the tutor said, we do it again. She said, do a few attempts. We done 6 attempts at it. And I passed every one. Said, each of those is a pass. She said, right, this one we're going to do for real as the exam. This is the one that's going through. You guessed it. I done it. I failed miserably. But she said, you can do it. What happened? I said, I changed my thinking.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So it just proves the point, what you just said now about going in relaxed or going in tense.
Nice. Nice.
Thanks.
That's a really good one. Thank you
Yeah,
for
cheers, dude.
parents.
Cheers.
Thank you for sharing. Myself, I haven't done it like if I haven't won anything on a contest. Maybe because I haven't joined one, but I use flow state actually before knowing that it was actually a technique. Sometimes when clients weren't like really engaging with the business and everything, I used to just relax and detach myself, and I used to say, okay, yeah, anyway, the universe always takes care of me, so I don't have to be worried. And then I just detach from the outcome, and I say to myself, well, if it's for me, it's for me, and that's it. Then later, I knew it was called flow state. So I've used it. I use flow state on my business, on my life, and I, I was able actually to do flow state for maybe, I don't know, 4 months straight. I was just flow state, and then something from the 3D got me, and then everything. Once that little thing from the 3D got me, and I start paying attention to it, oh my God, everything went to hell. Everything went to hell. I wasn't on flow state. Now I was worried about everything that was going on the 3D, and things were bad, and one after another, one after another. And I found myself many times saying, oh, this is happening to me. Why? Oh my God, now this. Oh no, now I have this. And then I found myself talking to people regarding my problems. And that's when I decided to return to the to the community. So yeah. But the point here is that we can maintain ourselves on flow state. And now that David was saying it, and also Terence was sharing that, I was thinking about doing something today. So I'll let you know how it went, how it goes. But well, who else wants to share something regarding flow state?
It's also great that when you finish the 20 breaths, that you don't, that the past is not there anymore and there is no future. You think now, at the now. And that's I should do this more often, this flow state.
Yeah, definitely, Krista. That's something that you should do. We should do more often. And it's funny because now we're on this class together and everything. I'm saying to myself, if I was on flow state 5 weeks ago, everything would have been easier. But hey, we needed the reminder, so we had the reminder today because of something. So I don't know what you're going through right now, but there's a reason why we are reminding that we're remembering that we need to go to flow state. Okay, so what else, guys? Do you wanna jump to the questions, to the quiz? Or you wanna share something? All right.
I guess the quiz.
You guessed right, Rosa. How do I do? Okay, for a second I forgot how to share screen. With my internet today. Can you see it? Okay. There's something going on with I don't know if it's my internet, I don't know if it's my connection. I don't know what's going on. ¿No está muy lento el internet? That's weird. All right.
I see good.
Okay, so we have flow state and identity collapse. So, Evie, could you give us the honors of reading number 1, please?
Of course. So let me just expand. Number 1, the collapse of the observer paradox. Neville says, I and my father are one, but my father is greater than I. In flow state, we reach a point where the distinction between the observer and the observed disappears. If you are truly plugged into everything and there is no separateness, who is actually making the choice? Are you choosing the box or is the box choosing you? How do you maintain the discipline of attention without reactivating the egoic I that wants to take credit for the win?
Thank you. Good question. Do you want to answer that, Ify, or share something, or well, you don't have to, but you want to say something?
I don't fully understand the flow state, or as the question says, the collapse of the observer paradox. Maybe because at the moment I haven't known how to tame or observe my ego. So yeah, the flow state is not something I know how to get into, and if I have got into flow state, maybe I've done it without knowing.
I'm pretty sure you've done it before. I'm pretty sure.
So yeah, so no.
Well, this is why we are here. If we don't understand, to discuss it. This is why we're here. So it's very good that you said that you don't understand this. I too don't understand all of this collapse of the observer. Can anyone explain to us?
Okay. Well, somebody wants to share something. Maybe Terence, Rose.
I was watching something this afternoon. There was a video in the group that somebody had put up. All right, it kind of helped me a lot. One of Neville's videos, and he was saying about how to actually do a flow state and being natural and not expecting or forcing it. And when I watched it, it kind of clicked. rather than pushing it and saying you have to force it. So we said, he asked somebody, how do you do flow state? Well, she said, what I do is try to make it happen. And he said, by making it happen, it won't happen. You have to allow it. And all of a sudden, when he said that, it kind of dropped. The penny kind of dropped for me that I've been forcing it rather than allowing it. That's how I see it. Is that an explanation or not?
Yeah.
Let me expand on that.
Are you
Sure.
choose?
And basically, what flow state and detachment is it's everything. It's regarding not having expectations. You know, it's not if you let me say this. If you want something out of life, if you feel like, I don't know, you want a car for saying something or a certain amount of money, if you have that in your mind, if you want a new house or a new life, a new partner, well, not a new partner, maybe you do, I don't know. If you want a partner, I don't know, if you want be healthier and everything, if you have that, it's because it's already yours. So think about this. It's like we are in this dimension, you know, we're in this dimension. And then there's another you from the future. So there's actually a you from the future in this same timeline. That you from the future is already living whatever things you want. Make sense? So if that person from the future already has a Jeep Wrangler for saying something, for example, Ify, is there something in particular that you would like to manifest?
Oh dear, lots of stuff.
Like one thing?
A house?
Okay. Do you know where, how the
Yeah.
house looks?
Yeah, I know how it looks. It's in Sloane Square in Chelsea. It's in London. So it's a very nice area in London. I would like to manifest a house there.
Okay. So there's a version of you that already lives in that house. That's why you want that house.
Mm.
And that's why everything that we want is not like, oh my God, I want to have it. It's because we already have it. So if we understand that everything that we wish, that we, how do you say this? That we are like longing. Is that a real word in English?
Desire, is that the word you're looking for?
Yeah, something like that. I was trying to go more poetic. Like,
Well,
yeah.
desire means of the Lord, if you want to know the definition of it. So it comes from your higher self or the Lord.
There you go. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, really good one. Okay, so if you have this desire and you're like, oh my God, I want this house and everything, it's because a version of you already has it. So everything that we want, we already have it. We haven't, in this particular moment, we haven't achieved it. So if we have flow state and you want that house, just let it go. Like Terence was saying, if you don't have an attachment, if you already detach yourself from having whatever thing you want to have, you're just like, well, anyway, it's already mine. So many things in your life are going to appear in order for you to approach to that goal that you are wishing, but you already have it. Ify.
So is that why we dream? Or I don't know if people others this happens to them as well. When people say they dream about their manifestation, so if I'm manifesting a house or something and I dream I'm actually living in that house, is it because I'm dreaming that because I'm just stepping into the reality of where I have it? Is that why I'm dreaming about it?
It might. It might.
Mm.
I can't answer you that,
Okay,
but
cool.
it might.
Okay, thank you.
Another thing I was thinking, James, is another when we're saying about manifestation and getting things, wonder if you could resolve this one or answer this one. When you set up that you want something, to put a time limit on it. I've seen a lot of debate and heard a lot of debate whether when you want something, like the house or whatever, I need it by when? By a certain time or a certain date. A lot of people have said no. A lot of people have said, yes, you should put a time limit.
Yeah. Well, from my experience and following David's teachings and everything, um, I don't think it's the best thing to do to put a time limit because, there's always things that have to happen. If you put a time limit, you're in a expectation, and probably if you're in an expectation, if you have the time limit, it's because you are assuming that's my understanding. You're assuming that you don't have it. If you have this expectation, well, obviously, you're not going to get it. But there are certain people that need to have a time limit because they're really good on detachment. I think it's not if you put a time limit or not. I think it's really how you're able to detach yourself. That's what I think.
That's what I think too. My take on it, exactly.
Rose.
So I've heard the flow state described as like being in the present moment. Is that kind of the same way you view it, or what? I guess.
So myself, yeah, I see it like that. Just be in the moment. Don't be like, oh my God, that happened to me. Poor me. Oh, remember my mom used to beat me so bad. Oh my God, my clients left me. Or wishing something that it's coming because that's where depression comes when you're living in the past, and anxiety comes because you're living in the future. That's something that I learned in the university when I was studying criminology and psychology and everything. So, and now makes sense to me. I don't know if anybody sees it the same way or in another way regarding flow state being in the present.
That's what I kind of thought it was, is being in the present moment is what flow state is. And so you're able to flow from your like task to task in the moment and be really focused. That's kind of the understanding I have of like the state of mind, if you want a description of it.
Yeah, yeah, being in the present moment, being and also being grateful. It's really important to be grateful. All right, Krista.
Well, I'm totally okay with what Rose said, and also you, that we are in the present moment. But I want to add to this that when we manifest, we are in the fourth and maybe the fifth dimension, so there is no time. And that's why we should not put a time limit, because there is no time. It should be done now, in the present moment.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you in that. All right, Sean.
I just wanted to add something more to like the flow state thing. So how I get into it is, I sit there and I meditate, and that like I start to feel it in my crown chakra and my third eye, and just feel like aligned. And then once you're in that state, you get like you're listening to your intuition. So you get like these little things in your head that's like, go do this, go do that, talk to this person, or and then everything just kind of flows. And if you look back on it, you're like, oh my gosh, that's why I talked to this person, or that's why I went there, because I met this person who led me to this and this and this, and then everything just kind of flows together. So yes, it is being in the present moment and just being connected with yourself.
All right, John. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. All right, Rosa. So
So kind of like,
mind if I call you Rosa?
do what?
Do you mind if I call you Rosa?
That's okay. It's just your the Spanish way to say it, right? So
Yeah, that's very good.
it's better than Josie. That's how you pronounce it in Portuguese. So that's better.
It's better.
So going back to like the flow state and like meditation and manifesting and all the above together, I kind of think of it as like when you go deep into meditation and you're able to see like different timelines, and then to be able to like pull yourself, if that makes sense, into that timeline. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think let me say something.
Okay.
See if I'm in the same channel with you. Okay, when things occur in my life, like sometimes when I'm like, oh my God, I can handle this, or this situation, this person, oh my God, this employee wants to sue us because he wants to uh, get more money, things like that. But well, that's a true story. But anyway, that happened to me. And let me tell you about in that moment, there was this employee that I wanted to get rid of because he was like a cancer inside of our business, and he didn't have a contract, so he was using that to ask for more money that we uh, actually had to give him because we were laying him off. Anyway, so I was really stressed about it, and then what I did was I did a meditation, and then I saw myself. I think I've told you about this one. And I was on a boat, like a nice boat, kind of a jet, but not like a really nice fancy jet. And I was on the Mediterranean Sea. I was staring at the sea. I had Sicily really close to me. I was right there, you see? I was right there. And I was looking at the sea and I was thinking to myself, oh my God, this is the same sea that Escipion the Africanus saw, the same sea that Hannibal crossed to get into to Italy, the same one that Julius Caesar and everything, and the same one that the Romans used to call Mare Nostrum. And I was all in that meditation and everything. And then I say to myself, well, yeah, whatever happened to that employee, that doesn't really matter. And once I came back to this meditation, I felt like wonderful. It didn't matter. I went to this meeting with my lawyer and everything, and we nailed it. And yeah, I don't know if it's something like that that you are saying, Rose.
Yeah, something like that. So you can see that new reality and then like use those feelings of like gratitude or whatever emotion you're creating in that new reality and draw yourself energetically to it.
Yeah. I moved myself to that reality, and I was feeling okay. So in that reality, I'm feeling like this. Okay, yeah, and I'm bringing back that emotion. All right, nice one. Nice one. We're nailing this, guys. Actually, I tried with the help of an AI, obviously. I tried to to create a more complex questions for today, because the last ones were like really simple. So yeah, I wasn't able to put everything in my words and this, so that's why I had a little bit of help, but I think it's working. So number 2, Krista, could you give us the honors?
Neutralizing the excitement bias. I don't know what is meant with this, okay? David mentions that a true manifestation feels neutral, not exciting, because you only get who you are. For advanced practitioners, if you feel a spike of high octane excitement or nerves during the flow state, have you actually moved to the state of I am? Or are you still viewing your desire from a state of lack, longing?
Let's wait right there. So what do you guys think? When we're doing this flow state, so if we feel the high octane, like a really powerful excitement during flow state, or what do you guys think?
Now let's look at this. Manifestation feels neutral. Oh, Rose, no, Evie. Who wants? I don't want to speak too much when someone else wants to say something.
Okay, okay, Christopher, wait. Rose.
So what I've heard, and also practiced in some ways too, and which is a good reminder for me. So thank you for this, that, yes, you'll have initial excitement when that thing happens. Let's say you get married. And I'm sure, like, if you're envisioning your wedding day, yes, it's going to be one that's like full of love and gratitude and excitement and probably nerves and all that stuff, right? Associated with wedding day. But then you want to like look into the future of like, a year, 5 years. What are those emotions that you would have then? It wouldn't be like nervousness. It would be like a sense of knowing, of love, appreciation for your partner, like, wow, I can't believe we've been married for 5 years, stuff like that, right? You can envision those different emotions, but it's not the same emotion as your wedding day. They're different. And so kind of like that idea. Does that help?
A lot. A lot.
Yeah, I guess something similar to what Rose said. I guess it should feel natural. And I guess when an example is when Neville says when you buy some new shoes, initially, you just feel like, yeah, these are new shoes. But after like kind of like a week, the shoes just feel normal like any other shoe. Like others wouldn't know it's a new shoe. It's just you who knows it's a new shoe. So I guess it should just feel natural. And I think that's when I think there's in even one of David's videos where someone asked him a question about how do I know my manifestation is close or something along those lines. And he said, if you go to a new house and when you're in a new house, so for example, if I go to my new house in Sloane Square and I'm like, oh my God, this is so amazing. I can't believe I'm in here. Then you're still not in alignment. But if you go to that new house and you feel so comfortable, it feels so natural. It feels like, yeah, I deserve to be here. It's not something like, wow, like, oh my God, I've just seen my favorite celebrity. It just feels natural. That's what David said. And I guess that's the feeling of how you should feel. Yes, you would be happy initially, because I guess, if we all get what we truly want, in that moment we'll be so excited, but after a couple of days it would just be like, yeah, it's just normal.
There you go. Ernest.
Yes, I agree there what you just said about that. David said in one of his talks or one of his videos that he said, if you got a new car or you got a new house, say if you sat in my car or come into my house and you feel awkward, then he said you're not ready, because he said if you got, say, new clothes and they don't feel right, then it's not ready. I remembered this when I was up in London, when I was waiting to meet somebody and the clothes I was wearing were not so good and I got judged on appearance. I don't know if I've said this before, I might have done. And I went into a McDonald's in London. Chap looked at me and he said, oh, I bought the most expensive dish in the place. It was about £7 or £8 in the 80s, which was quite a bit. And when I went up to the counter, I felt I was being judged by the fella behind the counter. And he said, could you pay for it now before going to your table? I said, I thought you paid afterwards. He said, I'd like you to pay for it now. When I took my wallet out and he seen how much I had in my wallet, he said, oh, sorry, sir, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I said, I've just come up to London. I said, I've just bought a lot of training, thousands of pounds worth of training. And I said, I walk in here, and I said, as soon as I walk in here, you turn around and look at me and you judge me based on appearance. He said, I'm sorry, sir. And he was very apologetic. And I felt that because I walked into a situation and he judged me on appearance.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Thank you, Terence.
Welcome.
Thank you. Nice things we are sharing. Okay, Krista, could you read the last part
Continue.
of the, yeah.
How do we refine our vibration to stay in the natural state, even when the stakes, like a $3 million lottery or a high-level business deal, are massive? Now, have you won it, yes or no?
What do you think, Krista?
It's about the vibration,
There you go.
the frequency in which we are in the natural state. Well, the vibration in the natural state is, for me, peace.
Yeah.
Even when the stakes, like a $3 million lottery, I take it. You send it to me, okay? I'm massive.
Nice. Thank you, Krista. Nice. Yeah. I'm sorry. You wanted to share something else, Krista?
No.
Great. Well, we're just talking about that, and again, one example is to connect, and like Ify Rose and everybody was saying, yeah, of course, if you are visualizing the moment where you are receiving the 3 millions, or they're telling you, oh my God, you're the winner, oh my God, you're gonna be like, what? And you're gonna feel joyful and everything. But 5 months forward, you're not gonna be like, yeah. Obviously, no, you're not gonna be like that. You're gonna be more natural. Maybe you're gonna make some other decisions. Maybe I don't know. I was actually talking the other day to my wife, and we were talking about this, about the lottery, and I say to her that one thing that I probably would be doing is I will go to this store. It's called 511. It's a tactical store. I love those clothes from over there. They're really good, really, really good. and they're not normally cost around the same as, I don't know, Lacoste or Tommy clothing or something like that. And I was okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go to that store. I'm gonna spend, I don't know, 50,000 pesos. That's around, I don't know in dollars right now, but it's less than it sounds. So that's one thing that I will be doing, and I imagine myself going to this store on my Jeep Wrangler, because obviously I'm gonna go to the States to get my Jeep Wrangler, because there's a version in the US. There's a place that they make these Wranglers better, so they cost you more, but that's okay because I'm gonna be a millionaire at that moment, and I'm gonna cross the border and I'm gonna, everything. So I've been imagining those kind of things. Obviously, I'm gonna feel grateful. I'm gonna feel the excitement. I'm gonna feel everything. So, but it's gonna be natural. It's gonna be natural as being next to this guy sitting. Yeah, at first it's gonna be like, nice, awesome, I'm here. But times to times I'm gonna be grateful, and I'm telling you this because I remember one time I hired these pet trainers. They used to work with canines, like attack dogs. And I was standing in a corner. I was just standing there in a corner, looking at what these trainers were doing and everything. And when I look around, I saw many people. It was, oh my God, I don't know, there were like 100 people gathered there, looking at what we were doing and everything. And I was in that corner, and I remember that I said to myself, look, everybody's enjoying this and they're happy and everything. And nobody obviously stops to think that they're here because one mind. And I wasn't like cocky, like, oh yeah, thanks to me. No, I was so grateful because I was able to do something for the community and everything. So maybe I will feel like that, like grateful, like, oh my God, I was really able to accomplish this. So yeah, I don't want to, like David says, I don't want to start rambling. Somebody else wants to share something regarding this? Okay. Rose, are you able to read number 3?
Yes. Okay.
Great.
The law of thought transmission in real time. When you are in flow state, you have access to all information because the gap is erased. Advanced question. When you receive an intuitive hit or an answer, how do you distinguish between a God download, or known as pure information, and a thought transmission from the collective unconscious ego? What does the texture, what does
Let's
the, stop there?
Yeah, let's answer the first one.
That's a good question. How to know between an intuitive hit. I think it depends on the person, really. Sometimes I feel it like in my gut a lot of times for my intuition.
Okay. Like pain?
No, just like a deep sensation. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know if anyone else gets that inside their gut. Like, for instance, like when I was driving, this was years ago, and I was going to turn, but something just told me, like, don't turn. Like I heard it in my head, but then also I felt it in my gut. And I looked again and there was a car coming. So like that, for instance.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's had that kind of situation or not, or something similar. Like it's a very different feeling.
Yeah. It happened to me. I had this feeling that something was going to happen, and then I stopped on a the how do you call this, light, and it was red, and then it turned green, and something said to me, don't press the gas, don't go. I didn't, and then a car passed, boom, like really freaking fast. If I press the gas, I will probably be dead at that moment. But anyway, Krista, please.
I think that I could distinguish between a thought transmission and a God download.
Really?
I could, and what you have told us, I was booked on a flight, and 2 days before, I booked my boss that he would go. In that moment, he got a terrible headache, and this flight crashed. I then found him together with his brother. I found him without a hat. It was very. I afterwards I had a trauma for several years, and there were quite a few others who told a story like this. A stewardess, you today say something else. She said she does not know why she exchanged with colleague. She said she had absolutely nothing important to do, but she exchanged the flight, and so she left. And I think that's God downloads, the pure information.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you, Krista. Thank you. Can you continue, Rose, please?
Yes. What does the texture of a true intuitive answer feel like in your body compared to a thought that originates from the ego's desire for safety or revenge? Ooh.
Good one.
Hmm. I feel like when I get an ego answer, I don't really feel it in my body. It's mostly in my head that I hear the answer. So it doesn't feel much like I don't get much sensation in my body. Whereas with intuition, I feel it in my body. And I've also had it where I've done the opposite of my intuition, where I was like, I shouldn't do that. And I just do it. And I'm like, why did I decide to do that? But I knew I shouldn't have. So I don't know if y'all have had that experience too.
Nice. Thank you. Somebody else wants to add? Please, if you.
Yeah, I guess if it's for me, or I would say if it's the ego, then it would be kind of like anxious or not a good, I wouldn't say not a good feeling, but I guess if it's intuition, it would be at peace. There would just be a stillness, a calmness. But I guess when it's an ego, it won't be peaceful. It would seem very mechanical, if I'm explaining it correctly. Yeah, it just wouldn't feel still, peaceful. And yeah, that's what I feel.
Thank you. Yeah, I really think it feels different. Sometimes it comes from the ego, and you're like desperate, and you're like not all yourself into yourself. But when
Yeah.
it's from something higher, it feels natural. It feels like, yeah, I know this is
Like a
what
confidence.
yeah. You feel confident, you feel natural, you feel like definitely I have to do this,
Mm.
Yeah. All right. So Karen's.
Yeah, my take on it is that if it was genuine, it would be definite and like an overwhelm. But if it was like a fleeting thing, I would debate whether it was genuine or not. Like if I've had intuition, it's been there, nagging at me, telling me, go for it, do this, do this. Whereas if it was just a fleeting thought in my mind for a couple of seconds, then I wouldn't entertain it. But if it was coming back and saying, go, please, please go, please do this, then I would think it was a genuine thought or a genuine nudge, and I would react to it or I'd go along with it.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Thank you, Terence.
Cheers.
Hey, saying that and taking the advantage that you were the last one sharing something, could you read number 4, please?
Yeah, sure. The newborn state is a dimensional shift. David's newborn technique isn't about feeling fresh. It's about erasing the script of the simulation. If our current reality is a reflection of past consent and the newborn state has no past, are we technically performing a quantum jump every time we successfully hit the state? If you have no history, you have no limitations. Discuss why is the ego so terrified of this 0 point state, and how can we stay in that no past frequency longer to prevent and old patterns from re-rendering the 3D world?
Wow, great.
Thank you. Rose.
So I've heard someone else describe, yeah, or like I think Neville describes it too in some ways, but then someone else, Brian Scott, has mentioned like, that we are new in every single moment, and like we could just choose to be a new person in the now, like every single second, right? And so that's kind of what I'm picturing in my head, and like detaching all these strings from us from the past, because like the ego feels clingy, I guess is the word that comes to my head. And I do think that we are technically performing a quantum jump in a way, because we're cutting ties to those past situations, and we're taking that energy that we were putting into the past, right? Because we are putting our current energy into the past when we dwell on it, right? So if we cut the ties and we take that current energy that we have, instead of using it for the past, we can be more in the present moment, and then quantum jump into a reality that actually more aligns to what we desire. Then I think that's a better way to use our thoughts, like the idea of investing our thoughts and our energy into something new. And also, I was learning about the recausal self, I think is what it's called. Or no, retrocausal self. That's what it's called. And that's like that everything that's happened in the past is something that we've, previously sorry, let me back up. What we're living currently in the present moment is all the stuff that, like, as it said in here, is stuff that we've created in the past. So knowing that, think about how much power we harness when we go into the present moment. And instead of unintentionally making something new in the future, harnessing that power for something that we actually desire instead. So.
Thank you. That's a really nice thought and something to definitely have in mind. Right. Somebody wants to add something regarding what Rose said, or well, regarding the newborn state as a dimensional shift.
I want to say that Rose said it very well. Thank you.
Very well. Yeah, I think it's same. Right. Somebody else, if Terrence wants to share something.
No,
I don't
I'm
think
good,
I can add
thanks.
more than what everyone else has said at the moment. I think it's been summed up perfectly to my mind.
There you go. Okay. Okay, guys. So let's wrap it up. And all right, this was, as always, a really good session. For some reason, I wasn't able to upload the last ones, but now I know what happened. So I think today I'm gonna upload like 4, 4 lives, and I'll let you know when the recordings are up on the YouTube channel. And yeah, guys, well, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining. And let's see what's going on Monday. Oh, Monday it's again here with the study group. So thank you guys for being here.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Cheers, James.
Thank you.
And bye.
Thank you all.
Bye.
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 No.